Hey everyone, it's Shauna the Tax Goddess. One of the most common questions that we get this time of year is, Shauna, I've been hearing a lot about this extension estimate, but I've also heard the term quarterly estimates. I'm thoroughly confused. What are we doing? Probably one of the most common questions that we hear. So I wanted to explain the difference between an extension estimate and a quarterly estimate. Okay. Now, let me start with quarterly estimates because I think those are going to make the most sense for the most people. So quarterly estimates are based on, especially if you're a business owner, self-employed, you have a 1099 source of income that's coming to you. Quarterly estimates are it's how you pay taxes to the government, right? So if you're a W-2 employee, typically you're withholding, you've got withholding from your wages, right? So if your W-2 is $100,000, you are only actually going to receive, maybe $80,000 because $20,000 is withheld and sent to the federal government to pay for your taxes, right? At the end of the year. Okay. Quarterly estimates are for business owners. So the federal government basically says, okay, for the first, second, third, fourth quarter of the year, we want you to add up all of your income for that quarter, and we want you to send us an estimate. So that's a quarterly estimate of how much you think that you're going to owe us in taxes. Okay. So quarterly estimate is all about figuring out in advance, how much do we think that you're going to pay in taxes? Okay. Now, extension estimate. So this is where people start to get confused because I think they hear that you guys hear the term estimate and go, wait, I've already done my four quarters of estimates. Two completely different types of estimates. So let's use a year as an example. Okay. First quarter, you made $100,000. Second quarter, you made $100,000. Third quarter, you made $100,000. Fourth quarter, you made $100,000. Okay. And let's just say your tax rate is 20%, right? Federal tax rate is 20%. So on $100,000, you sent to the federal government in your quarterly estimate, $20,000. Second quarter, $100,000, you sent another $20,000. Third quarter, $20,000. Fourth quarter, $20,000. Okay, so you've made $400,000, but you've sent 4 quarters of $20,000 to the government, right? We're prepaying the taxes. Okay, so we've sent them $80,000 on $400,000 worth of income. Okay. So when we get to actually preparing the tax return, so that's what you're doing throughout the year, right? When we get to actually preparing the tax return, an extension estimate says now the year's over, right? We've paid what we thought we were going to owe in taxes, okay? But our guess could be wrong, right? Your tax rate could be higher because you made more money than you were expecting. Maybe you had a really great December or you closed a really big deal. Or the tax rate could be lower because you implemented some tax strategies, right? You've reached out to a team, we've set up a tax strategy plan. Well, what you estimated is now significantly lower, right? Because you're not doing, you don't owe those taxes. You've implemented those tax strategies and the taxes have come down. So an extension estimate says, we're going to file an extension, typically March for businesses, March 15th for businesses, and April 15th for individuals and C corporations. We're going to file an extension because we want to keep digging and finding more tax deductions for you, get that number of taxes even lower. An extension estimate says, you've already paid in $80,000. Do you need, in order to extend, do you need to pay in more? Or are we expecting now that you're going to get a refund and therefore there's nothing due with your extension estimate? So I hope that clarifies it. Those are the most common questions that I receive when we're talking about quarterly estimates versus extension estimates. So definitely, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Tax Goddess team. Of course, you can always reach out down below as well, our website. If you're a client, make sure you're reaching out via your client Slack channel. Of course, as you guys know, it's super secure, fastest way to reach the team. Or of course, you can always send us a text message. So hopefully we've answered all the questions. If you're CPA, if you're not a client of Tax Goddess and your CPA has not talked to you about quarterly estimates, extension estimates, why you should extend, which I know we have another video on, but long story short, it reduces your chance of audit. So definitely extensions are a good thing, okay? If your CPA has not talked to you about all of this stuff, or they just don't educate you in general, reach out to our team. Tax Goddess would love to help you. You know, we're ranked in the top 1% in the country. We've been featured in Forbes. Entrepreneur will be right here in a little bit. We've just been on Entrepreneur as well. So, you know, we love bringing tax strategy to the world, to the people, and especially our business owners in the US. That is our specialty. So if you want a chunk of these tax savings and you're frustrated with how much your quarterly estimates or your extension estimates are, don't hesitate to reach out. All right. Thanks so much and have a great day. Okay. Bye.